Okay, Stephenie, set up the host for the people who are not familiar with the story.
Okay. It is after an alien invasion that they won. The world has been taken over by aliens that kind of do the same thing as the body snatchers. They are small, they fit inside us, they take over, and then they go about business. So it looks a lot the same, the world. So in the movie version, it's just tweaked a little bit from normal, which I love, because in the book it's not a visual thing. People supply their own pictures, but in the movie it's just perfect because it looks like us, but not quite. So in this world, there is a human being who has been hiding out. She gets caught. They put an alien inside of her, but she doesn't go away entirely. And so the alien, who is separate from her but living in the same body, and the girl sort of at first hate each other but come to a friendship after a while, and they start to work together.
Andrew, you have the task not only of directing the film but also adapting the book into a script.
Yes,
so I can't imagine what was that like. You know, just you explaining it, Stephenie. I'm going, okay, let me wrap my head around this.
And Stephenie did write a 650-page book. A screenplay is around 120.
Yeah.
So
It's 120 double spaced.
Yeah, that's true. And so the first task, of course, is to decide what to leave out, because you know that some scenes, some characters are not going to make it into the movie. So after sweating a lot of blood, I finally got it down to its fighting weight of 120.
Yeah, really, to strip it down.
Yeah.
Do you guys collaborate on that, or is that one of these things where...
No, we definitely do.
Okay. I didn't know if you... What I meant, like, is you go away for a little while, you write something, and you come back, and you go, you know what,
Yeah, no, it's a back and forth.
It is,
like
okay.
That. And I'd never done this before, never adapted anybody else's novel. So I was kind of nervous, you know, how precious is Stephenie going to be, and
he's really good at it for a beginner. I mean, it was so, he would come with something that was really cool. The very first one, I think it was, I was like, you know, the souls are that's the aliens, are more peaceful. And then he kind of ran with that, and by the second draft, he'd done things in the script that I was like, oh, why didn't I do that in the book? That's perfect. And so, and we had one of the easiest
we had a good time.
Relationships I've ever had with adapting.
That's great.
Yeah, because I was nervous. I was thinking, what's it going to be like? Is she going to be precious about the material? And then after the first week, I realized, and in fact, I think I said to Stephenie, thank God you're normal. Because in our business, not everybody is normal.
Normal's weird.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yeah.
Normal's abnormal.
And it's two normal people together.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to have.
When I think of the alien, in the book, the way it's described, to me, it's invisible. You know, so how do you adapt that? How do you show that in the movie? And you know, you're not going to show something invisible. So how do we distinguish between the alien and the person in this world?
Right.
You take that.
Yeah. No. It's a challenge, of course, because in a book you can describe that two people basically are inhabiting the same body, but we do it visually with the eyes. So you have soul eyes if you've been inhabited, and of course we have to have two characters in one body, and to do that, Saoirse Ronan, who plays both characters, and is phenomenal.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I can't imagine anyone else who could do this actually. But what we did was we recorded all of Melanie's performance beforehand, and we fed it into Saoirse's ear when she was doing a scene. So she could actually hear herself and have a conversation with herself. No one else on the cast or crew would hear it. So here's somebody just babbling away to themselves. And sometimes they're very intense conversations and very emotional, but it was just kind of very interesting challenge.
Wow, that's a cool way to do it. Are the eyes your favorite body part? Because it just seems like there's a through line there with that.
It's unintentional, but apparently it really is my favorite. And I was thinking about that today because we started in the panel at Comic-Con with a clip of Kristen's eyes, and then we did the cool clip of Saoirse's eyes, and I thought, oh wow, yeah, I have a problem. So we'll have to
I
see.
actually don't
Well,
think it's that much of a problem.
admitting
It's
the
working.
problem is the first step to curing it.
You know, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. And it really is when you look at someone, that's what you look at. And that's where you see, are they really talking to me? Are they genuine? Do they mean what they're saying? That's where you look for those clues. And so to me, it seems like the eyes are the most honest part of your body in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what's telling the truth in both stories about what people are.
Will this go beyond this story, this book? Will it become bigger, much like your other books?
Are you talking sequel?
Sequel, trilogy, you know?
I would love to continue with this.
Mhm.
I have the outlines. I know what happens.
Okay.
It's a matter of time, and you know, it's so funny. You can't always make it work when it's a creative endeavor, and the voices have to start talking to you, which sounds like a crazy person. But most other authors, you know,
Sure.
the voices when they're talking, you can hardly write fast enough. I'm easily distracted, so it's one of those things where I just have to stop coming to Comic-Con
So
and
that
stay
means She has to
home.
leave now.
I'm gonna go right. But
Yeah, you've been distracted the last couple of years. Yeah, you know, stuff going on.
Yeah, it's been a little bit busy.
Yeah. Does this one have a musical theme? I know, you know, were you listening to any particular music when you were writing this?
I was. Somewhere I've got a playlist. I can't think off the top of my head.
Ah.
I would always put together a list of songs that kind of
Yeah.
reminded me of the characters.
So
there was
no
a lot
Muse
of
in this, right? Is that a little too rocky?
No, actually, they have a song called Futurism that could be off the
Okay.
soundtrack.
Okay.
A lot of Arcade Fire.
All right.
There were some.
Oh, Katy Fire, cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that really seem to identify with the idea of being at war with yourself, and so that worked really well for things to listen to.
Absolutely. So how did you guys end up coming together? You know, how did this partnership start? Did
It started. I was. We worked with Nick Wexler. He was
Okay.
the producer that we first started with, and he said, we started talking directors, and he said, write down your top 5 science fiction movies, and we'll see who the directors are. My number 1 is Gattaca, and also on the list was The Truman Show. And he's like, well, you know, I'm friends with Andrew Niccol.
Oh.
And it was like, well, that would be the dream choice. And then it happened.
Wow.
No, it's very flattering.
Well, Andrew, weren't you a little nervous? You know, I mean, Stephenie's kind of a big deal, you know.
Yes,
And we're, you know,
I mean, I guess the nervousness comes from the fact that the book has so many fans, and the fans have
Right,
expectations. But you have to kind of put that aside a little bit and just go, okay, what is the best way to tell this story? And to sort of honor the spirit of the book, because a book and a movie are much different animals. But, you know, the thing that drew me to the book is, you know, we always talk about inner conflicts in characters. I mean, here you literally have an inner conflict. So for me, it was just a great story to dive into.
How cool was it when you presented the footage to everyone in that room? What was the reaction like?
I think they were pretty excited.
I'd say without a doubt, right? They didn't know what they were getting.
No, they do.
No, they do. Any cameos from some of the folks?
You mean?
I'm just curious if anybody that we know from some of your other movies will pop up in this.
That's a good question.
We didn't have any cameos.
Maybe
But
the
maybe in the
sequel.
future.
Oh, in the future. Okay.
There actually was one part that if I teased Taylor about coming in and doing a little cameo, he was like making a movie or something, so he couldn't do it. But man, I would have loved, although we would have had to kill him, and that
Yeah.
would have also been fun.
That would have been fun, and you know, wow. I mean, people
Big
would have lost
commitment
their
though. It's
mind.
like, hey, come out to the middle of nowhere and hang out for a couple weeks, and oh, you
We'll
have a
kill you.
life? Oh, really? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hold.
Well,
We'll
he's an
kill you.
actor. Come on, he's got to work, right? He's got to. He's another job, man. Come on, just make it work. All right. The last question. I thought this was interesting. I would say maybe you met your biggest fan last night, E.L. James. 50 Shades of Grey.
Did I meet her?
I was told you met her last night.
If
Is
I
that no?
did,
Is that no?
I was unaware of it. I mean, I went through a line
Incorrect
of.
information. sorry.
Incorrect? Okay, never mind then.
All right.
Never mind about meeting her, but I am interested. Have you read the book?
No, that is really not my genre. Yeah, sorry.
Are you fascinated by the fact that I guess she's kind of drew inspiration from your books to write what she did?
I mean, I really feel like that may have been something she started with, but I don't think it was. I think it was always her story that she wanted to tell.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she put it into a version that fit for a bit, but I think it was clearly her separate and different story, and you know, it was gonna find its way to the page.
She was looking for the sweetness that you provided, and then she took it to another place.
Yeah.
Yeah.